Here is part of the narrative that we're seeing from the right about Joe Biden that I think is actually like, I don't know that it helps in that respect. Like, again, we're talking about, I mean, you just made the point. There's a lot of people coming out to vote for against Donald Trump. But what the Trump campaign is going to do is try and find narrow little pockets that they can suppress so that they can win in a surgical victory, essentially, like they did in 2016. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game here. And that's why, to some extent, you know, I'm voting Biden in a blue state, because if he gets 10 million votes, maybe the shenanigans that will take place in those surgical little victories will be overwhelmed. And it costs me nothing as far as I'm concerned politically. I mean, that's basically it. Here, and I just don't know, like, I don't see how this feeds into that. Now, maybe they have another, like, sort of like, you know, quieter game, but this whole thing that, like, Joe Biden's out of his mind.
Oh my God, they're doubling down on it right now.
They're doubling down. We saw earlier in the program, Rudy Giuliani say this. Here is the former White House physician who touted Donald Trump's mental health, going on to talk about Biden.
And hide in his basement, and I would argue probably preparing all summer for the debate.
Well, you know, I mean, obviously, Sean, the media is the communications branch for the Democrat Party. I mean, we all know that at this point, and they're just aggressively covering for him. But obviously, something is going on with this man at this point. I mean, he keep him locked away for 90% of the time, and then when they have a little window where they think he might be able to put a few sentences together, they break him out. They have him read from a teleprompter, and then as soon as it's over, they just dismiss him right away without taking any questions, unless they're scripted questions that he already has been prepared to answer, that he's already got the answers for. So I think that there's definitely something going on here. I think it's completely reasonable to ask if he's being medicated, because he has had a few times where he's come out and he's looked a little bit more energetic than he's typically looked over the last few months. And it could be he's having good days and bad days, because that's how this cognitive decline, usually happens. It happens, and you will have good days and bad days. But I think it's completely reasonable to ask if he's taking medications to help him with his alertness and his memory. And they certainly would be asking Donald Trump that. I guarantee you, as his former physician, they said they were relentless in their pursuit of me, and anything that might even be conceived as something that that President Trump might have been taking. They wanted all the answers. Yet when it comes to former Vice President Joe Biden, it seems like no one cares. We care, but the press doesn't care.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ronny Jackson. Good luck in you.
I mean, really?
Did you guys see that ad? I don't know if you covered it. There's a new Trump ad out, and I saw it on YouTube, where they zoom in on all of the teleprompter. It is a crazy ad, and it's paid for by Donald Trump, not some super PAC, not some independent expenditure. It is like there's a reflection in the mirror, and you could see the teleprompter, and they like circle it and zoom in, and then they circle his hand going like this to move the Who cares?
Donald Trump reads from a teleprompter, and so did Barack Obama. I mean, yeah, I think it's just indicative of the trouble that they're having coming up with a narrative, right? I mean, we just had a moment where the Hunter Biden Senate committee investigation basically fell apart. Right. I mean, it ended in a total whimper. Which is not to say that I think that Hunter Biden didn't trade on Joe Biden's name. Of course he did. But their whole political strategy was, 6 to 8 months ago was a function of this, and it's completely gone. So now they're out there going like, the guy reads teleprompters. The guy is, taking performance enhance. I just don't think that is going to suppress. That is all stuff for their base. Yeah. That is not going to suppress. And there's no voter out there going like, I hate Donald Trump, but Joe Biden, I mean, the guy's using teleprompters and maybe taking Adderall.
Adderall, right. Meanwhile, like, what? I'm sorry. Doesn't Donald Trump take Adderall? Hasn't there been like a real...
I mean, yeah, I just don't think that's going to work.